Welcome to Plainly Speaking, the show where we talk about AI and financial planning without the jargon, without the hype, and without pretending any of this is simple. I'm Ben Lewis from the Financial Planning Association, and with me, as always, is Matt Reiner, the FutureProof Advisor and our partner in the FPAI Authority. Matt has built a firm, tested the tools, and seen the results firsthand, which makes him the right person to answer the questions financial planners are actually asking. Matt, let's start with the honest version. Where does AI in financial planning stand right now? Not the hype, not the fear, just the reality.
Yeah, it's an interesting question because it's talked about, I think, in every conference. There's headlines and speakers on AI. Every news source has it. I think that the reality right now with AI, and I actually think that how it is in financial planning is not that different than how it is across other industries, and just companies in other industries. I think that capability is ahead of adoption. And I think that adoption is way ahead of integration, right? If you think about that lineage, I think that shows where we are at. Like the
Mhm.
models and what AI can do is far, more than we could have ever imagined as a human, and especially inside of our industry. But the challenge is that most firms have not built anything that survives the one person that champions it. And what I mean by that is I think that individually we are getting some personal leverage out of it, whether it's like helping us do some brainstorming or how to
Mhm.
respond to an email or how to gather information. Like I think that there's a lot of individual progress happening from that standpoint, but I don't think that there's many firms that are getting institutional leverage out of AI, meaning that they've institutionalized it to the way that they work, by that they made AI a way that they work in certain processes, et cetera, right? You think about like AI note takers and everything of that nature. It's like, yeah, we're getting the value, but have you redefined what you do with those AI notes and the transcripts, and have made that a what we call in our business like a follow by all basic process that everybody is doing, that if you were to take AI out of the process, that the process would break. And we haven't really institutionalized it to that level. And I think that the main reason is because I think that the initial surge was all around like the glitz and the glamour. But
Mhm.
the real challenge and the value from institutionalizing it comes from like the picks and the shovels, right? Like it's like, it's like the hard dirty work, which is like data hygiene, process definition, some like ownership and structure. And I don't think that we're there yet. And I think that our industry faces a little bit of a different nuance with regulation and data security and everything of that nature, and we have always been a risk averse industry, so I think
Mhm.
we'll always be a little bit behind. But I think that right now the reality is that AI is still in its infancy. We are in this like awkward middle where I don't think we're at the beginning anymore, but we are way far away from like the ninth inning. We're moving into the second inning of it. And I think that the fears that many people have had have become less scary because we're seeing that AI is powerful, but it doesn't replace the human because it makes us more valuable, more needed. And it's highlighting what I find it to be so amazing is that it's highlighting what the human is meant to do in a service-based business.
Mhm.
And I think it's giving us a path, which is a daunting path for many, and it really is a daunting path to get to, of us being able to be doing those skills of like interacting with humans, being empathetic and everything of that nature, doing that all the time. And I think that that is going to take a lot of time, not only to build, but to change the mindset. And so I think that we still have got a long way to go to get it fully integrated and intertwined into the DNA of how businesses and wealth management, financial planning work.
Yeah. One of the things, I mean, you and I have talked about this, is that AI, when leveraged right, technology in general, when leveraged right, can actually position a financial planner to be more human with their clients. And so, but one of the things, and this is something as you were talking, I was thinking about is, you know, these different tools and these different technologies are fantastic. At least what I think I'm seeing a lot of is there isn't a lot of rhyme and reason as to why a planner is going to adopt a technology or an AI. They just are trying it because they hear other people trying it. It's rather than actually kind of taking that self-evaluation a little bit, that little inventory of yourself to understand what problem am I trying to solve for, and then how does this tool actually do that?
I think that that's like a really great observation, and I think it's kind of like the baseline of where we are. I think that's been our challenge as an industry with technology in general is that we're looking at AI as just another technology. And I actually see it as a key to a whole new way of operating as a business. And it is a technology, but I think it's a technology that forces us to do the hard work to really get the ROI. And as an industry, I think we've always just like and I've been prone to it. Our firm has been prone to it. Like it's not when nobody everybody's done it, and it's not like it's wrong. It's just human nature. It's like we like the shiny object, and we love that. Everybody else has XYZ, tax planning software. So we need it because our clients are
Mhm.
asking for it because they go talk to their friends and they have it. So we need it. But it came out of a forced need as opposed to a visioned opportunity. And
Mhm.
when you look at technology and say, I think that the future vision or the future vision that I want of my firm is X, Y, and Z. I want to serve families this way. I want our team to feel this way. I want the work that we do to be X. And when you vision that, then you can say, okay, now knowing that and how I want it to feel and how I want it to act, what is out there that can help me get there? And then what do I need to do to connect all of that to make it all work? And you work backwards from the future state to the technology. I think too often people work from the technology to a what the future state could be.
Mhm.
And when you do that with AI is a blank slate and it's overwhelming. And so it seems so daunting. Whereas if you pinpoint one area that you want to be, like I want to have automated follow-ups to client meetings. Fantastic. Like now you can go find the right tool or combinations of tools to do that in the way that you and your firm want it to happen, as opposed to being like, I have AI, now what should I do with it? Like that is just an
Right.
overwhelming for anybody to do. And so it's an opportunity. It gives us our world of what we can do now is wide open. And so you now, I think as a planner and what we are working on daily in our business is what is the vision of our business that we have? Not how we get our business, but what are we doing to serve our families? How are we serving them? What opportunities are we giving our team? Everything of that nature. And then we back into the technologies we need to allow for that to happen.
That's terrific. All right, everybody. Look, that's plainly speaking for this episode. If this conversation was useful, share it with a colleague who's trying to figure out the same things you are, because chances are they are. I'm Ben Lewis for the Financial Planning Association. Matt Reiner is the FutureProof Advisor, and we'll see you next time.